to look forward to this month at the San Diego Chinese Historical Museum.
And with us this morning, Executive Director Jacinta Wong joining us. Hi, Jacinta. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Let's get right to this. For anyone who has never been to this museum, what can we find there? Tell us all about it.
So our museum is very specifically talking about the Chinese arriving to San Diego, immigrating as early as 1850s, right? And so we had a vibrant Chinatown at one point, and it has since no longer exist. And so the museum is there to remember the history of the Chinese that lived in the area back in the day.
How do you remember? What could you find in the museum? What is there?
So half of our museum is preserving Chinese history in terms of the dynasties, right, in terms of some older relics. But then the other half of our museum is very specifically about the Chinese coming to San Diego. So we have models that have, images of how it used to look back when San Diego's convention center used to be a Chinese fishing village, right? Oh. We have small models of some of the older buildings that used to exist a long time ago. We have relics of actually when buildings were built in the 1980s that were excavated from the ground. And so we have things like that. And then we have a timeline that it tells you the history of the Chinese here in San Diego.
Yeah, it's fascinating. The building itself also has a bit of an interesting history. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so the building used to be a Chinese mission building. It was built in 1927. And it was the Chinese Mission Church for the longest time, and then the Chinese Community Church. And then the church moved out in the 1960s, and the building was slated for demolition in the 1980s. However, a group of civic-minded Chinese community members were able to rally to help save it, and so it was moved from its original location and turned into a museum in 1996.
These museums and these places, just such a wealth of information, things that one wouldn't know. From what I understand, you're not from San Diego, so what was the most interesting thing you would say that you learned about all these stories?
So I'm from Chicago originally.
Chicago.
And I've been here less than 2 years, and was really looking forward to finding the Chinatown such as that we have in Chicago. We have such a vibrant community there, and coming here to find that there wasn't a Chinatown, that it still existed. And so stumbling upon the museum was really an eye-opener for me in terms of trying to figure out the story of the Chinese here in San Diego, because we know that we have a large community. And so finding the museum and finding the story that existed behind it was just really compelling to me, and so here I am.
Yeah, let's talk about this, the Big Exchange program. What does that entail?
So the Big Exchange is brought to you by the San Diego Museum Council. We are proud to be one of their members, and there are over 50 museums that are part of this. It's a great time to become a member of a museum, because with your membership and any of the participating members, you can use your membership to go to reciprocal museums for up until May 18th, between May 1st and May 18th.
Are you walking tours as well?
Yes, we do. So we offer the first Sunday of every month. We offer a walking tour. So we walk through the old Asian Pacific Historic District that used to exist.
Okay.
So it wasn't just Chinatown. It was also the Japanese, the Filipinos, African Americans, who all kind of lived in harmony in that area in the early 1900s.
You guys have so much going on. The Dragon Boat Festival is always cool every year. That's coming up.
Yes, coming up on May 18th. We're really excited for it, and we have a team this year. So
look at that.
Using dragons,
so much going on, and so we thank you for coming in. This is from the San Diego Chinese Historical Museum, Jacinta Wong. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time as always. All the information, by the way, is on our website, fox5sandiego.com.